WWE SmackDown is heading to the USA Network in a 5-year deal, a 5-year agreement between WWE and NBC Universal starting in October of 2024. Of course, SmackDown has been on the Fox brand since 2019 and now it is making the move back to the USA Network starting next year. But this is fascinating news, and I will tell you why right now. It says nothing about WWE Raw and NXT, which are both currently on the USA Network. So, does this mean that NXT and Raw are leaving the USA Network? Well, it does seem like that's entirely possible because the Hollywood Reporter, who should take with a little bit of salt, they are a bit of a dirt sheet. They're a mainstream dirt sheet, but a dirt sheet, nevertheless. They are saying that sources familiar with the situation are saying that the market for Raw is extremely active right now, and it might not. This could well mean the end of Raw and NXT on the USA Network, which in itself is absolutely crazy because Raw and USA, I mean, that partnership's been there for years, WWE and NBC. But the most fascinating thing about the original report here between SmackDown and USA is not only will SmackDown be moving to USA, but starting in 2024, WWE will be doing four primetime specials on NBC during prime time. That is big. I mean, for those of you guys who don't know what you're dealing with there, NBC primetime, that's usually about 5 million views, which in this day and age on TV, wow, oh wow, that would be absolutely huge for WWE. That is a great bit of business, something that they'll be very, very much proud of. But the Sports Business Journal is saying spoke about this, and they said that Raw, it's got a lot of, it's got a lot of interest from both traditional companies as well as companies such as Disney and Amazon Prime. I reported it a couple of years back now, I spoke about it, that Disney were interested in buying WWE, right? They had a big content library. Disney was very interested in that. Then the Peacock deal happened. And that, well, that might have been an issue. That might have actually come, when it come down to it, being a deal breaker for Disney. Endeavor, obviously, their job is to sell the rights. They don't have streaming services of their own, so for Endeavor, WWE was a perfect match, made a lot of sense, and of course that deal happened. Because of that reason, I'm not sure if I can see the Disney Plus deal happening. Never say never, but would slightly surprise me with that one because Disney like to own things, and it'd be a 5-year deal, whereas all WWE's other content would be on a rival platform on Peacock. That deal doesn't make too much sense for me. Amazon Prime are very much pushing that they're really getting into the sports game, the sports streaming game right now, right? So they're probably less worried about owning things long term and more worried about getting that live content there. So I think Amazon Prime would make sense. That is a very sensible match. But Raw moving to Amazon Prime, that would be fascinating in itself. Another option is that Raw stays with NBC but just leaves the USA Network. Perhaps Raw moves to Peacock. We've already spoken about streaming services such as Prime and Disney Plus. Well, NBC have their own in Peacock, and WWE are already on it. So adding Raw and NXT live every week, well, that could make a lot of sense in itself, and certainly isn't something that anybody should be ruling out as of this time. But we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to wait and see what does happen there. Something to keep an eye on is, these outlooks are saying that it's entirely possible that Raw switches days, which again is crazy. I don't know if I buy that one. I can't see Raw moving off Mondays for several reasons. One of them being I'm not sure really if it would make any sense. The only thing which I could see is maybe Raw moving to Tuesday nights and then NXT moving to Thursdays. So Raw clashes with less on a Tuesday. Maybe that would be possible. Some people are saying, oh, Raw, the Wednesday night wars are starting again. Raw versus Dynamite. I can't see that happening in a million years. It would be a completely senseless move, as you will just get rid of some of your audience, and I don't think TKO is about that. Yes, they've named AEW as a competitor, but the way they did it, you don't want to, let your competitor take part of your views by having the two things on at the same time. TKO's aim won't be to destroy AEW, it will be to, have WWE do a lot better, and I makes zero sense to me, that theory. But again, only time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong here. But my personal prediction is I think Raw will either end up on Peacock or be heading to Amazon Prime, and NXT will follow wherever Raw goes. Because by the sound of things, right? But by the sounds of, I believe it was the Sports Business Journal here, yes, that it says that Monday Night Raw is the last package that WWE needs to sell, which very much hints that NXT is in with the Raw package, which is something that did actually kind of surprise me there, but that is fascinating again. So I think Raw and NXT will be, sold to the same place. But what we know right now as a fact is that SmackDown is going to the USA Network. It is returning to the USA Network in October of 2024, and WWE will be doing 4 annual specials on NBC in primetime. Big day for WWE. Big news here. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and check out Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast here live on YouTube every day, usually at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 12 p.m. Pacific. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.